Chapter 1. The Spark. Jackson was a 26-year-old graphic designer living in a small apartment in Austin, Texas. He lived modestly, freelanced online, and spent most of his time on design forums or watching YouTube videos on investing. One night in early 2020, while browsing Reddit, he stumbled upon a thread titled, "How I Turned $1,000 into $45K with Crypto in 6 months." The post was written by someone named Crypto Nomad, full of screenshots and enthusiasm. Most of the replies were skeptical, but Jackson was hooked. He wasn't new to investing. He had a few $100s in a Vanguard index fund, but this felt different, faster, more exciting. He spent the next 2 weeks consuming everything he could about crypto: Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, market cycles. He learned about Satoshi Nakamoto and the 2017 bull run. He downloaded Coinbase, and on a rainy Friday night, he bought $100 worth of Bitcoin. It was his first step into a world he didn't yet understand. At that point, it wasn't about making money. It was curiosity. It was hope. Jackson wasn't trying to get rich. He was trying to change something in his life. He had been stuck for years, financially, creatively, emotionally. Crypto was a door he hadn't tried to open yet. Chapter 2. The First High. By the summer of 2020, crypto markets were heating up. Jackson's initial $100 had grown to $145. Encouraged, he added more: $300 into Ethereum, $200 into something called Chainlink. He joined Telegram groups, subscribed to newsletters, and began checking prices daily. Soon he was watching charts between client projects. One afternoon, while designing a landing page for a health startup, he noticed Link jumped 20% in an hour. He stopped working. His heart raced. He refreshed his portfolio every 2 minutes. It was addicting. By September, Jackson had turned his $1,000 into $3,800. His confidence soared. He even started giving tips to friends. "Buy the dip," he said, like a seasoned trader. Some laughed, some followed. Then came DeFi summer. Uniswap, Aave, PancakeSwap, projects offering 300% APY. He tried yield farming, though he wasn't sure how it worked. He saw his coins multiply, then halve, then spike again. He was caught in the chaos. Still, he felt alive. For the first time in years, Jackson believed he was building wealth, not just income. But beneath the excitement, cracks were forming. He wasn't tracking taxes. He didn't understand liquidity risks. He was gambling and didn't know it. Chapter 3. The Crash. In May 2021, everything changed. Bitcoin dropped from 64K to 30K in a matter of weeks. Jackson watched as his $12,000 portfolio shrunk to $6,000, then $4,000. His stomach twisted. He couldn't sleep. He deleted Twitter, left his Telegram groups, and stopped opening his Coinbase app. The worst part wasn't the money, it was the shame. He had told his college friends to buy Ethereum at $3,500. Now it was below $2,000. He felt responsible. He sold everything in a panic. Then he avoided the market for months. He focused on work, buried himself in freelance gigs, and tried not to think about the flashing charts. Crypto had once been a dream. Now it felt like a failure. He asked himself, was it all just hype? Then one night, walking back from a cafe, he saw a Bitcoin sticker on a light pole. It triggered something. Not greed, but curiosity. He started wondering, if others were still building in this space, what did they see that he didn't? Chapter 4. The Rebuild. In early 2022, Jackson returned, not to trade, but to learn. He read The Bitcoin Standard. He watched Andreas Antonopoulos lectures. He explored the idea of decentralization, not just as tech, but as philosophy. Slowly, he realized his first journey was driven by emotion, not understanding. This time, he took a different approach. He made a list, rules, not goals. Rule number 1, never invest money you can't afford to lose. Rule number 2, do your own research. Rule number 3, take profits along the way. Rule number 4, don't chase hype. He started dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum. $50 per week, rain or shine. No FOMO, no all-ins. He diversified into stock ETFs again. He listened to macro podcasts and studied traditional markets alongside crypto. He also started writing, a Substack called Crypto in Plain English. At first, only a few readers subscribed, but Jackson found joy in breaking down complex ideas. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He just wanted to learn and help others learn too. Crypto was no longer about becoming a millionaire. It was about becoming wiser. Chapter 5. The Comeback. In mid-2022, the markets had stabilized. Ethereum's merge to proof-of-stake was underway. Bitcoin held steady above $20,000. Jackson's small but steady investments were up 15%. More importantly, he felt in control. One night, he opened a Zoom call with 2 of his subscribers. It was casual, just chatting about L2s and staking, but the energy was different. They were curious, respectful, eager. Jackson realized he wasn't just a learner anymore. He was becoming a guide. He started a YouTube channel, Crypto Clarity. Simple tutorials, weekly summaries, interviews with devs. It grew slowly, but authentically. One episode, How Not to Get Rug Pulled, hit 20,000 views. His confidence returned, not because of profits, but because of purpose. He wasn't trying to time the market. He was trying to understand it and help others do the same. Chapter 6. The Conference. After months of online learning, Jackson felt an urge to meet people who lived and breathed crypto. That's when he came across the Miami Blockchain Summit. The cost was steep, $800 for early registration, plus airfare and hotel. But something told him it was worth it. The moment he stepped into the Grand Convention Center, he was hit by a wall of digital noise. NFT artwork flashing on giant screens, crypto podcasts broadcasting live, booths giving away branded t-shirts and physical coins. Jackson wandered through the crowd, overwhelmed but intrigued. He collected brochures, joined Telegram groups, and even took selfies with a few YouTubers he followed. He attended a keynote from Sarah Lin, a former Wall Street analyst who'd left J.P. Morgan to create a DeFi protocol for underbanked communities. Her speech was equal parts financial theory and emotional storytelling. She spoke of people in Venezuela using stablecoins to survive hyperinflation. She talked about financial borders and how blockchain could erase them. Afterward, Jackson joined a workshop on building dApps on Polygon and sat through a legal panel where regulators argued about whether tokens were securities. For the first time, Jackson saw the ecosystem as more than just buy-sell charts. It was a culture, a mission, a movement. That night, he posted a blog titled, "Crypto Isn't Just Code, It's Community." It became his most shared article to date. Chapter 7. The Mentor. Jackson had just stepped outside the conference hall for air when he noticed a quiet older man sitting alone at a picnic table, sipping black coffee. His name was Victor Morales. They struck up a conversation. Victor's story was both sobering and inspiring. He had been early to Bitcoin, made a fortune, then lost most of it during the 2022 crash. But instead of retreating, he rebuilt, wiser, slower, and more deliberate. You don't survive in crypto by being smart. You survive by being humble, Victor said. He shared lessons that books didn't cover: the emotional cost of losing millions, the temptation to revenge trade, the paralysis during sideways markets. They spoke for hours, then kept in touch. Over the next months, Victor became a mentor. Not one who gave hot tips, but who challenged Jackson's thinking. He made Jackson journal every trade, track his emotions, and define a personal investing philosophy. Don't just copy strategies, Victor warned. Design your own rules. Discipline beats alpha. Jackson slowly realized investing wasn't a sprint. It was a form of self-mastery. Chapter 8. The Scam. Empowered by knowledge, but still craving opportunity, Jackson ventured into DeFi again, this time with more caution. That's when he discovered a project called BlockZen. The site looked polished. The founders were allegedly ex-Google engineers. The Discord was active, the white paper filled with buzzwords: AI, NFTs, DAO governance. Jackson invested $500, not much, but enough to test the waters. Within 2 weeks, BlockZen started trending on Twitter. Influencers pushed it hard. Jackson's tokens rose 4x. He considered adding more. Then the rug pull happened. The devs deleted their Twitter. The smart contract locked withdrawals. Discord went silent. Jackson's money was gone. But unlike last time, he didn't spiral. He wrote about it instead. An article titled, "I Got Scammed. Here's Why I Blame Myself." It went viral. Readers appreciated the honesty. The experience taught him a powerful lesson. Transparency could build trust. Losses weren't failures, they were warnings worth sharing. Chapter 9. Balance. Jackson took a hard look at his financial life. He divided his investments into 3 buckets: 60% in index funds, VTI, QQQ, and SPY. 30% in long-term crypto projects, BTC, ATH, LINK, MATIC, and 10% in experimental plays, early-stage DeFi, NFTs, AI tokens. He tracked everything. No more chasing pumps, no more all-in bets. Outside of investing, he improved himself. He meditated daily. He hit the gym, and he even started volunteering once a week at a local youth center, teaching basic financial literacy. It gave him perspective. His blog gained a following. He started getting podcast invites. He created a video series called Crypto with Character, discussing ethics, not just earnings. He realized his voice mattered. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was trying to empower them. Chapter 10. Legacy. 2 years passed. Jackson now lived in a small but beautiful home in Denver. He worked only part-time as a freelance writer. His passive income from dividends, staking, and YouTube paid the bills. He wasn't rich by crypto standards, but he was free. More importantly, he had peace of mind. He no longer checked charts every 5 minutes. He no longer feared missing out. He had helped his parents pay off their mortgage. He had funded a scholarship for tech students. And he had mentored dozens of newcomers, passing on the lessons Victor had once given him. Crypto didn't make Jackson a millionaire. It made him a teacher, a thinker, and a man who understood value, not just price. His final blog post read, "In chasing wealth, I found wisdom." That was the real profit. Thanks for watching. Take action today, not tomorrow. Press subscribe. And let's keep learning together. You're doing great. See you in the next one. Stay strong.